Anyway, in part 3 of the 90-day, The Last Resort Tell-All, Ariela Weinberg and Biniyam Shibre's relationship was under the microscope after watching the former couple work on their relationship issues. 90-day, The Last Resort saw 6 couples from the 90-day franchise come together to live at a resort to help them improve their relationships. Bini and Ari joined Jasmine Pineda and Gino Palazzolo, Stacy Silva and Florian Sukaj, Natalie Mordovtseva and Josh Weinstein, Brandon Gibbs and Julia Trukina, and Rob Warren and Sophie Sierra, where their relationships were all put to the test. Bini and Ari met close to 5 years ago, and they've been married for around 3 months into their relationship. Ari became pregnant with their son, Aviel, whom they call Avi. Their story was originally told on 90-Day Fiance, the other way in 90-Day Fiance. The couple faced issues early on, with Bini's partying getting in the way of their family. Ariela's parents were supportive of their daughter's marriage, but Ari and Bini's relationship troubles couldn't be overcome, and they came to the last resort hoping to find ways to co-parent Avi, not get back together. One of the major plot points for Ari and Bini in the last resort is Bini's social media accounts and his access to them. From the second Bini appeared at the resort, his passwords were the only thing he seemed to care about. He claimed Ari had taken all of his passwords, leaving him with no access to his own social media. As time at the resort progressed, Ari eventually acquiesced and gave him his accounts, seemingly putting all the drama behind them. At the reunion tell-all, Ari provided more insight into what happened with Bini's passwords. Ari's mom, Janice, also popped into the tell-all to explain more about why Ari held on to Bini's passwords. Janice said Bini had been targeted by opportunists who were trying to exploit him. Ari asked Bini if he could confirm that this was true. As they all sat on stage, Janice elaborated on the password issue. Some of the people that have been involved with Biniyam are opportunists, and so there have been situations, one particular that I can think of, where after the woman realized there wasn't going to be a relationship, she tried to extort Biniyam. Bini seemed hesitant to admit Janice and Ari were correct. Bini had been the subject of extortion, so Ari revoked his access to his social media accounts to keep him safe. Now, whether Ari has the right to do that and whether she should be protecting Bini are up for debate. She has a child with him, so it's in her best interests to protect Bini, as his estranged wife. However, I'm not sure it's in Ari's best interests. Janice said the extortioner threatened to post lies about Bini on social media if they weren't paid off. Ari said almost all of the women that Bini gets involved with have tried to hurt him in some way. Janice said Bini is very trusting, so Ari was trying to protect him. They all agree that at some point, Bini will have to learn how to take care of himself. After the extortion attempt was revealed, the rest of the cast seemed to understand Ari's position better. She said nobody supported her during the show, and they didn't give her a chance to explain her side of things. She also said Bini didn't want her to talk about it, so she was respecting him by not exposing him. Now that the cast is aware of why Ari was keeping Bini out of his social media, they seem to understand her side of the story. Florian said hearing it come out from her mother made him understand the situation more. Ari complained they were only listening now because her mom said it, but the rest of the cast said they were never told anything about extortion while filming. Ari maintained she was never given the chance, but if she was also protecting Bini, then she wouldn't have said anything about extortion anyway.